From the two Virginia's leading news station, this is a News Center 6 News Update.
Good evening, I'm Barrett Van. For the first time in West Virginia's history, the state has seized control of a county's public school system. The State Board of Education voted today to take over the Logan County school system. It also ousted current Logan County School Superintendent Cosma Kreitz and appointed Marion County School Superintendent John Myers in her place. State School Superintendent Hank Meraki says the action was taken because of a serious problem in Logan County. Among the problems were the use of uncertified teachers, rampant absenteeism, and sloppy record keeping. The Navy's sexual assault scandal has heightened scrutiny over next month's initiation of new officers. During the Tailhook Convention in Las Vegas last year, a number of female officers claimed they were sexually assaulted. Next month, Navy bases nationwide will initiate more than 3,000 chief petty officers in ceremonies that some say include hazing. Some petty officers say the initiation process has included being forced to sing crude songs and kissing a phallic symbol. A Navy spokesman in Norfolk says he has not heard of any harsh hazing in the past 3 years. Virginia Governor Doug Wilder is one of 12 governors vowing to reduce smog in their polluted regions. Wilder and the other leaders have made a pact yesterday at the National Governors Association meeting in Plainsboro, New Jersey. As part of the agreement, the governors promised to meet the standards of the Federal Clean Air Act. The 12 governors are from pollution-plagued states in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states. Consolidation Coal Company will have to pay about $2,000 in fines in connection with a fatal explosion. West Virginia officials have levied several citations against Consol. The action stems from a March 19th explosion at the Blacksville No. 1 mine. 4 men were killed in that explosion. Mine Health Safety and Training officials cited Consol 3 times for not doing a good enough job testing for methane gas. The contractor, M.A. Heston, who was hired to seal the mine, was also cited. And coming up next, a look at our weather forecast. Stay tuned.
This News Center 6 update is brought to you in part by One Valley Bank, the one bank for all of West Virginia.
Tell you what, Stan, we're on a roll now. How much longer will it last?
Oh, well, it's going to last another day or two, so let's ride with it while we can, folks.
Sure.
Temperatures are already dropping down. It's going to be a cooler than normal night again. The temperatures are already dropping. Here's what we can expect for the rest of tonight. Tonight, we're expecting it to be partly cloudy. It's mostly cloudy right now, and seasonally cool, dropping down to 50 to 55 degrees for most of us, 45 to 50 degrees in the Greenbrier Valley with those light east winds. Now, we talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll call it partly sunny and comfortable temperatures around with a high in the 70s with those southeast winds. Then tomorrow night, partly cloudy and still cool with a low expected 55 to 60 degrees. A little cooler in the Greenbrier Valley, maybe getting down to 50 to 55 degrees. Here's that extended outlook. We've talked about Thursday already. Let's talk about Friday. Partly sunny again and dry with a jumping up to about 80 degrees. Then Saturday, variable cloudiness and warming up to 85. Then Sunday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast, 85 for the high. As we get closer, we'll get a little better idea of how much rain or whether we really expect some rain Sunday or not. But it just looks like it the way the systems are moving.
You know, it'd really be hard to ask for anything better than this kind of a forecast. Really nice.
It looks good, folks. So we'll remember this a long time.
Thanks a lot. Well, let's toss over to Mark Brown now.
Yeah, let's start with baseball. The biggest series of this week, anyway, is the Braves host the Reds. Last night, the Braves with a dramatic ninth-inning win. Tonight, they scored in the bottom of the first inning as David Justice hits one to the wall in center field. Biff Roberts just plain hits the wall really hard. 2-run score. Roberts had to be carried off the field. An update on this one and Roberts' condition tonight after the Olympics. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, the Cards met the Phillies. 6th inning, the Cards' Chris Carpenter serves up a wild pitch. Darren Dalton scores for a 3-3 tie. But in the 6th, the Cards' Luis Aloysius scores Craig Wilson. The Cardinals beat the Phillies 5-4. One other score today, the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 5-4. And at the Olympic Games in Barcelona, an American has tested positive for a banned substance for the first time in 20 years. The International Olympic Committee says that American hammer thrower Judd Logan flunked the steroids test. Logan finished 4th in Sunday's competition. More sports tonight at midnight, Barrett.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. And coming up tonight after NBC's coverage of the Olympics, more people in West Virginia are dying in fires these days. Officials say more smoke detectors in homes could prevent these deaths. We'll see you tonight.
And help.
Hi, everybody. I'm Woody Morgan. The first annual Regional Golf Championship will once again be held here at the Fincastle Country Club. We invite you to stand up, tee it up, and go for the regional goal. WVVA Television has joined Pocahontas Bankshares to co-sponsor this traditional event, which will be held August 14th through the 16th here at Fincastle. Time is running short, so sign up now.
From the two Virginia's leading news station, this is a News Center 6 news update.
Good evening, I'm Loretta. The state's deputy fire marshal says a lack of smoke detectors in homes could account for West Virginia's rise in the number of fire deaths. 58 people have died in fires in West Virginia in the fiscal year ending June 1991, while 76 died in the year which ended this past June. Statistics compiled by the National Fire Association show a drop nationally of nearly 14% in fire deaths from 1990 to 1991. West Virginia state law requires detectors in all homes, but it doesn't allow the fire marshal to make inspections. Traffic was paralyzed in Princeton this morning when a thick white cloud of gas rolled across Rogers Street. It all happened when 21,000 pounds of carbon dioxide escaped from a storage tank at the Pepsi bottling plant. Witnesses say the cloud covered an area about the size of a football field for nearly 15 minutes. Princeton Fire Chief J.W. Howell says people caught in the CO2 cloud were not in any danger. A faulty valve on the tank at the plant is blamed for the leak. The valve was repaired. Unethical and immoral methods. That's how a former president of the failed West Virginia Blue Cross plan says its merger with Ohio Blue Cross came about. James Heaton says William Silverman, a consultant to the Ohio plan, pressured a Blue Cross employee to get support for the merger from State Senate President Keith Burdett. The U.S. Senate's Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations has been investigating the West Virginia plan's failure and its takeover by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Ohio in 1990. 2 Virginia Beach police officers have filed sexual and religious harassment complaints. They allege that co-workers taunted them, used vulgar language, and played practical jokes. The complaints are the latest in a series of problems with internal strife in the police department. Last year, the department came under scrutiny following a newspaper series that pointed out violence by officers in making arrests. The sexual harassment complaint was filed by a woman who joined the unit in 1990. And coming up, a quick look at that forecast.
For the past several years, WVVA Television has won more awards than any television station in West Virginia. This tradition of excellence continues. WVVA Television's News Center 6 at 6 and 11.
It's cool out there. It almost feels like fall, but keep reminding me it's summer. I know it is.
We're going to go down, way down. We're going about 5 or 10 degrees below our normal.
Whoa.
So normal's about 60-something, okay? All right, folks, let's look at the next 24 hours and show you what we can expect in the way of weather here. Tonight, partly cloudy, unseasonably cool, dropping down to 50 to 55 for most of us, 45 to 50 degrees in the Greenbrier Valley with those light east winds. Then tomorrow, partly sunny, we'll call it, and comfortable temperatures. I'd say that was comfortable, you know, high in the 70s with southeast winds. Then tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies again and still cool, low expected 55 to 60, 50 to 55 degrees we expect in the Greenbrier Valley. Here's that extended outlook. We've talked about Thursday, Friday, pretty much the same thing. Friday, partly sunny and dry, moving up to about 80 degrees. Then Saturday, variable cloudiness and warming up to 85. Sunday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms coming in there, 85, 65, the high-low. Really not the worst weather outlook. Unless you're a farmer, you might want a little more rain, because they have to have the ponds to fill up.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, they've got the crops and things like that. Then they got wells. So there you are. It'd be nice for the farmers to have some rain every night about 3 o'clock.
Wouldn't it, though? It feels like football weather out there, and Mark's got some football news for us. Mark?
Yeah, it's that time of year, and still no decision on the Marsh Fork football program. On Monday, transfers from Clear Fork High and some Marsh Fork holdovers walked out of practice. The issue, coaches. Former Clear Fork coach Mark Montgomery says that Marsh Fork coach Buddy Jarrell promised him the head coaching job at the school. But when the players showed up, Jarrell was still the head man. So all but 11 players shipped out. A decision on the program is expected from the superintendent's office in a couple of days. On to baseball, the Braves and Reds continuing their series tonight in hot Atlanta. The Braves scored in the bottom of the first inning. David Justice hits one to the wall in center field. And watch Bip Roberts hit the wall hard. He had to be carried off the field as 2 runs scored. We'll have an update on this one tonight after the Olympics. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, the Cardinals met the Phillies. 6th inning, the Cards' Chris Carpenter serves up a wild pitch. Darren Dalton scores, tying the game at 3. In the 6th, the Cards' Luis Aloysius scores. Craig Wilson as the Cardinals beat the Phillies 5-4. One other score today, the Blue Jays beat the Boston Red Sox 5-4. More sports with Woodrow tonight after midnight. Loretta.
Thank you, Mark. And again, coming up tonight, 4 Los Angeles police officers face civil charges in the beating of Rodney King. We'll have the latest. A Michigan judge makes a controversial ruling today concerning abortion. And closer to home, there's new hope for Monroe County rescue workers. The story and more coming up after the Olympics.
Hi, everybody. I'm Woody Morgan. The first annual Regional Golf Championship will once again be held here at the Fincastle Country Club. We invite you to stand up, tee it up, and go for the regional goal. WVVA Television has joined Pocahontas Bankshares to co-sponsor this traditional event, which will be held August 14th through the 16th here at Fincastle. Time is running short, so sign up now.
4? No, you don't yell 4. You're on the green. Yell 1. 1?
Right, please get that.
Do a little bit.
Yeah, okay, here we go. We're going to really hit this thing real good, folks. Here it comes. Yeah. Oh, no.
Stan, did you know about this?
Sort of, Bob.
Sort of.
A 30% chance I knew about.
30% chance.
What we need, Bob, is someplace indoors where we can do this putting.
That's what I've been telling the people.
Don't forget, inside you putt through a jungle. No cannibals. And if you make a hole in 1 in 18, a volcano erupts. There's an arcade with a Gilligan pinball, and for the real golfers, 2 golf simulators. Don't forget to bring your clubs for that. If you want to help build this putt-putt, send your donations to P.O. Box 423, Bluefield, West Virginia 24701.
16. 17.
The closed captioning of News Center 6 is underwritten by ENT Hearing Services, Robert B. Miller, M.D. Covering the 2 Virginias, this is WVVA Television 6. And now live from WVVA, Barrett Van, Loretta Budd, Stan Sweet's weather, and Woody Morgan with sports. This is News Center 6 tonight.
Good evening. 9 state prisoners have a new prison assignment tonight.
The inmates who are accused of organizing the sit-down strike at Huttonsville have been transferred to Moundsville. The transfers came after 50 of Huttonsville's 590 inmates reported for work this morning. Prison officials say they interviewed inmates and staff to find out who organized the strike, and those responsible were transferred. The strike began early Monday morning after an inmate died from a heart attack. Inmates claim an ambulance was not supplied for the victim. Deputy Corrections Commissioner Bill White says they'll investigate the man's death, but he doesn't think any negligence occurred. Work has been canceled at the prison, and for the 3rd day in a row, inmates were locked down.
76 people died in West Virginia fires last year. That's up from the year before. And fire officials are putting the blame on a lack of smoke detectors. State law requires detectors in all homes, but it doesn't allow the fire marshal to make inspections. Authorities say while other states worry about getting homeowners to change the batteries in their smoke detectors, West Virginia is still trying to get smoke detectors in their homes.
Monroe County has a new rescue worker. Recessa Annie officially joined the ranks. The West Virginia Automobile and Truck Dealers Association donated the $2,500 doll to the county. Rescuers say the equipment they've been using is more than 10 years old, but it's training made easy now. The mannequin even includes a monitor which lets trainees know if they're administrating CPR properly.
Got one more piece of equipment that's new that we can get out here and train more people with to help support our EMTD program, which we have it's a pilot program in the state, and we've only had it for a year or so, and the more people we get trained on CPR, the better off we'll be with.
Monroe Motor Sales helped make the donation possible.
Here's Stan now with a quick look at weather.
Pretty chilly night out there considering it is still summer, Stan.
temperatures are tumbling. It feels like fall. It sounds poetic, but it's true, folks. And as we speak, they're dropping. Let's take a look and see what's going to happen the next 18 hours. We'll come back later, bring you the full report. Tonight, rather partly cloudy. It's kind of cloudy around here now, but it should break up to be partly cloudy in most places. Rather cool. The low expected 50 to 55 degrees.
They are doing it already.
What do you think about what your sister did?
I have a really smart sister.
And she is cute, too.
That's a big deal.
It's a good thing for that grandmother that her granddaughter's such a smart little girl.
Yeah, it's a good thing for 911, too. It's starting to become more popular around here. It really is a life-saving deal.
Yeah. Well, that's about all of our time for tonight. For Stan and Mark, I'm Barrett Van.
And I'm Loretta. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.